Robert
I
Crayton in
had
the
to
building, ladies and
upgrade.
gentlemen. For you
We
guys
made
that
it
Thank
don't
you
know
happen.
who
very
this
much.
is, this is Robert Crayton. He stars on the show Young Rock on NBC with The Rock playing Warren Sapp. You guys might recognize him
Appreciate
from
that.
also HBO Ballers and from the Wutang
Appreciate that.
series from the Wutang.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the drop right there. DTEFLON is gonna be my new publicist. He goes in, you know what I mean?
Ooh,
As
that's
y'all can
nice.
hear, you know what I'm saying? As y'all can hear. My man Shane, one of my questions that I have for you is, do you happen to know if there's gonna be any type of the Power series going into the inception of Cooper Saxe? Because I think that would be something that's interesting. What makes you make the choices you make? You know what I mean? Because Ghost choices, a lot of them, he comes from poverty, he wanted to pull himself up by his bootstraps, stuff like that. But what makes people go so hard to get things done on the right side of the law, going against all odds, is something I think somebody would like to learn about. What builds that character, and then plus, you was a dirty brother on that show, man. We need to find out
Yeah.
what caused this dinginess in your man Cooper Saxe' life, because he's a dangerous dude. You know what I mean? Playing evidence,
Yeah.
doing all types of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's, I mean, obviously to me, all that stuff's very interesting as well. I don't know
Yeah,
that I don't know that, I mean, it would have to be like some brainchild of Courtney that she just,
got you.
you know what I mean? Like she comes from writing for The Good Wife.
A
And so
word.
she has that legal mind, and she really likes
Yeah,
the courtroom drama sort of vibe, and that's why she
got you.
includes as much of that as she does. And so she's a genius, and she thinks in those terms. So man, you
Yeah,
never say never.
I mean, the way I
yeah.
look
That would
at
be
I
Cooper
would
incredible.
like to see
Saxe,
that.
the way I look at Cooper Saxe, his character,
Mm,
reason why to me it deserves a spinoff. He's
mm.
similar to like Saul in Breaking Bad.
Mm,
Better
Yeah,
Call
he does.
Saul. The very
Yeah, he
like
does.
did a lot of dirty shit,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
did it
he
for the right
does.
reasons.
You're
And
right.
I think to me, like to me, the evolution
Mm,
of Cooper Saxe was the moment that he was crossed between a situation of killing Ghost with that
mm,
gun, because it was almost to the
mm.
point where like when you push someone to the point of survival, it's a different
Yeah.
survival.
right.
There's street survival, but then there's
Mm.
personal survival.
You're right.
And Cooper being the person that tries people who have made mistakes in the worst 5 minutes of their life, I think in
Mm,
that situation, when he knew the cops were coming, he knew he was
mm,
facing
Yeah.
going to jail. He knew that
mm,
he had to now think about all the decisions that he had made leading
mm.
up to that moment. And here's this fucking guy about to get away again
You're
with
right.
Man.
doing the wrong thing. And he's been doing the
Right.
right thing. And I think this is where it's great writing for Courtney, but it's obviously great
Mm,
material for an actor, is
mm,
that we've all been in that situation in life where we have
mm,
to make a decision on something that
mm,
what's right, what's wrong, what's
mm,
good, what's bad. And then you're sort of forced to say, okay, like the lesser between two evils. Like, for example,
mm,
you're a family man, Shane, you have kids.
mm.
If somebody was threatening your kids, you would do whatever the fuck it took to protect your kids. You wouldn't be thinking about the consequences. And these are where you look at the street game compared to the courtroom. Lawyers do whatever the fuck they got to do to win.
Yeah.
That's their job. They don't care
Mm,
whether they don't care whether you're guilty. They don't care whether you're not guilty. They are there to represent you, either to
mm.
prosecute you or to get
What
you
defense?
off. And
You're
then you've
right.
got the street game where it's like, okay, it's survive or be killed. That's it. That's
Mm,
the only choice you have. And sometimes you got to make hard decisions in a split second. And I think for Cooper Saxe, he was now in this moment to say, okay, I don't like what they've done, but now I get it.
mm,
Now I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I think too, I think once he's faced with, when you're backed into a corner and you're actually
mm,
faced with, which I never have been
mm,
personally, but if you're really faced with going to jail, now maybe there are people out there that are like, yeah, whatever, so I go to jail, no big deal. To me,
mm,
like the concept of going to jail and maybe it's just because I watch too much fucking TV, but the
Yeah.
idea of going to jail and the shit that you might have to put up with and
Deal
deal
with
with
it.
to
Yeah.
survive, it's like I almost would rather fucking take a bullet than go to
You
jail.
right. You
You know what I
damn
mean?
right. You damn right.
And I think that that's what he's up against when in those moments when he starts to go like, you know what? It's me or my. It's either me as a human
Mm-hmm.
or my ethics. And it's like my
Mm.
ethics just go right out the window. It becomes about survival and about getting some shit done and keeping your ass out of jail. Because I mean, I know for Cooper, but it's true for Shane too. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think about it sometimes. I'm like, did I do some fraud on my taxes? I don't know. I don't think I did. But you start kind of like
I
going,
think it's
did I
good.
fudge some numbers? I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like this is, and then you start going, somebody, what would happen? Like, what
Right.
would somebody come like knocking on the door or like people
Right.
show up with fucking guns and shit and go motherfucker on the
Right.
ground? I'd be like, ugh, shit. Like
You're right.
I I can't. I don't know if I could do it.
Right. Can't mess with it.
Some
I
people
know
are
that.
built for it. Some people are like, fuck yeah, man, I'll do that. I'll do the time. I'll do the time. I'm like, not
Right.
me. I'm not doing that. You know those people, you
Absolutely
hear it in
right.
movies all the time. You hear it in movies like, I'm not going back there, man. There's no fucking way I'm not going back. It's
Mhm.
You're
like,
right. I ain't
what do you mean
going
going
back.
back?
You're right. You
I'm
should
not
have
going the
went.
first time.
You're right. That's absolutely correct right there, man. Definitely correct. I have a second question is, with you being the series regular on the show, like you have other commitments that arrive. Like I learned this from other people and I always try to pick people's brains about it. Sometimes you have this other commitment. Like so because your role is so pivotal, do you try not to put yourself in that position with the production and stuff like that? Do you shut down all things that come along, or do you have a relationship with your production that be like, look, I might need to be gone for a couple of weeks. Can we do this? Like, how do you go about it with that? Because I do it a lot, so I just want to, you know what I mean, fill it out different ways to go about it better, you know, and stuff like that. Because stuff always comes up.
Well, I think it depends on what kind of, it's really dependent on what kind of contract you have. Because
Got you.
if you have a contract where they basically own you for
Yeah.
these dates,
Mm-hmm.
you belong to them. And so
Exactly.
then it's a matter of like running it up the flagpole and trying to get permission to, hey, I need a weekend or I need a week.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they have the right to, by the way, I know that they do. They'll say like, no. They'll be like, no.
Mm.